We've been sustainable before it was trending. We've been reusing butter tubs since, I don't know, forever?
Right? Like the thrill of opening one, like, am I gonna actually get butter Cool Whip or is it chicken soup?
Plastic container roulette, the original eco adventure.
Stick around. We've got stories, hacks, and a few rants on what's really sustainable. Hello and welcome to Adulthood as a Project, the show where two sisters discuss lessons learned and growth earned through the realities of life. I'm Charlie, and you all know my sister Casey, and we're your hosts.
In today's episode, we're going to discuss sustainability. We'll also discuss the ins and outs of small steps you can take and how easy it can be to embrace. Let's get started.
Right, sustainability. Actually, a topic I like, so.
Oh man, I think it's gonna be kind of an interesting conversation today. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was in charge of the quiz today, and so I'm gonna kind of explain it to you, like what I did here. So my thoughts on it was how a lot of times the younger generation, they do things on TikTok and name them something else and pretend like it's something that they randomly came up with. And so
What?
yeah. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? So that you can understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
I know. I'm not on the TikTok, dude.
so on TikTok, they would call it visible mending. And that means that they are patching up their worn out clothes. Like they're using patches on their worn out clothes.
Oh, okay. So they're making new names for something that's already out
Right.
there.
They're making new names for it. Or like zero waste pantry aesthetics. And that's literally just keeping glass jars, like a pasta sauce jar, and reusing it. Okay. So our quiz today is I'm going to give you the TikTok name, and you're going to tell me what sustainability thing that they are renaming.
Oh my God. Okay. I feel like I'm going to suck at this.
Okay.
I'm still going to get my winning
winner
button
ready. All right. First one is eco laundry lifestyle.
Okay. I'm going to go. My original thought is the new oh my God, why can't I think of the name of them? The eco sheets, though, to where you're not buying a plastic jug. They just come in little squares.
Okay, they're taking something that we've done for years and renaming it. So I'm going to give you a second guess on this, basically.
What? I don't get it. Oh my God, I don't get it. They're drying the clothes on the line outside.
Yes, they're using a clothesline.
Oh my clothesline.
Yes.
Oh my God, bless America. I'm like, oh, are they promoting the sheet?
No.
Okay.
So again, I'm gonna say they're taking something that we've done for years, that's been done for years, and they're just renaming it their little TikTok name.
It's just okay. It's not something new that's been come up. Okay, I think I'm gonna get this. I'm getting there. Okay.
Upcycled Tupperware.
You said recycled Tupperware? Upcycled Tupperware. What is reusing, like butter
Yes,
containers?
yes.
Like, is that butter in there or is it spaghetti?
Spaghetti for the
Okay.
win. Okay.
Maybe I'm better at this than I thought.
All right. Non-toxic home care.
Hot soapy water?
Be cleaning with like baking soda and vinegar.
Oh, I should have guessed vinegar too, because I actually use that. As much as I can't stand the smell, it cleans
It
really
does.
well.
It does clean really well.
I was on the right train of thought though, because I'm like hot soapy water as opposed to cleaning products. So I was getting there, but I'm gonna take the L on that. I didn't use the right words.
All right. A fridge forage challenge.
What is leftovers for
Yes.
dinner? Fridge forage challenge. Stupid.
All right. Last one. Ready? You're doing pretty good.
Okay, I
You're
think
doing pretty
so.
good.
I'm impressed that I could get this. It was a rough start.
All right.
Okay.
A kitchen garden project.
Growing herbs. My other thought was scraping mold off of stuff. Like,
Oh gosh. Oh
oh man,
yeah.
that's funny. Why do we kind of talked about in that slang episode. We're like, why do we have to put new terms on
I
things?
know.
But why? Why can't it just be a damn clothesline?
That's not.
There's already
It's
words
gonna
for it.
be. That's not gonna. That's not gonna get the clicks on the TikTok.
Right. It's not gonna get the likes, damn it.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Oh man,
Yeah. So I
that's
think my
funny.
point in that was just saying like, we act like there's so many things that are new under the sun when really the older generations were doing this long before we ever thought about being sustainable.
Well, they were doing it after, you can correct me, probably World War II,
Yeah.
when they needed to save
Well,
money.
yeah. So it was like during the Great Depression and stuff was like a huge. I mean,
Yeah,
they were probably like the most sustainable generation, honestly.
yeah. So I could imagine, and they just weren't doing it to be
Hip.
eco-friendly. They were doing it because they wanted to be budget friendly on a lot of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's crazy. That's funny though. And now the Tupperware thing kind of cracked me up because now like the plastic's not good for you, so now everyone wants to move to glass jars and
Yes.
whatnot
Yes.
because it's better for you. Plus, it actually holds stuff better, honestly.
Ugh.
But
And you don't have the orange stain.
and it's glass. It's 100%. It's endlessly recyclable. Like,
Yeah. I think the big thing is
yeah,
just like not having those orange
so
stains in your spaghetti container.
for real. I mean, once you've used a container for spaghetti one time, it's like you need to trash it because you're never gonna
Yeah,
get it out.
I know.
But if you put it in a glass dish, you can.
Exactly.
I mean, I am I don't think I'm a dork. I think a lot of people do it, but there's the main restaurant I started doing it with because I liked their to-go containers was Tokyo Joe's, and they put them in these. But a lot more places are doing it, but they're like the round black containers with the clear see-through
Mm-hmm.
lids. You can freeze them, you can dishwash them, you can reheat them in a microwave. Like they're used for
Yeah.
all of that. And I'm all, hell yeah. So then, like, I like having leftovers here because I can reuse that item instead of going to buy, but it is plastic. But still, it's totally reusable multiple times, which is really freaking nice.
Right. Right. I think,
So,
I don't know. I never think of myself as like being super in the sustainable. I don't know. I mean, I do use old plastic shopping bags as trash can liners. So
yeah,
doing my part over here.
I did. I definitely use them as trash can liners. I am also the person who I just pile them up and I take them back to the store and recycle them
Oh
too.
yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, that's just a pain in the ass. I'm like, how's that a pain in the ass? You're already going to the grocery store.
Right.
Why is it hard to just grab all your bags and put them back in the recycle bin?
Right.
So, or I'll use paper a lot more sometimes. Like if I know my trash bag pile's plenty full for now, then I'll be like, oh, put that in paper bag this week,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like that's easy to recycle. But it's when I was working for Ace that got me a lot more into recycling than I ever
Yeah.
was. And so that job, for the listeners that didn't know, it was an electronic recycling
Mm-hmm.
company. So in working there, like I learned so much about recycling. And then my friend and boss, she was just really into it. So her like enthusiasm got me excited. And she would be doing a bunch of research to like promote the business or do, just making blog posts, stuff like that. And she would always share her stuff with me. And I'm like, that is so interesting. Like, I did not know that stuff. And like like I said, her enthusiasm kind of got me more into it and looking into stuff. And I don't think I went like full hippie. However, it just like when we were talking about the laundry, the sheets. Our buddy Mark that was on the podcast a while back on Happy Hour, he found these. It's detergent. They're detergent sheets, and he found them, told me about them, and we started using them. I'm like, this is freaking amazing. Why are we not using these everywhere? They literally come in a paper thing that is completely compostable. So done. They ship it in a compostable container, and then they're just sheets. So there's no plastic being used, and it's taking up no space in your laundry room. I'm like, well, this is nice. I'm all about that.
And I'm assuming those sheets,
definitely all about
those sheets like just dissolve in the wash.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're not crazy expensive. I mean, I've been using them for, I bet probably 3 years now. And I think I maybe pay $12 every, I don't know, maybe 3 months for it to get shipped to me.
Do they wash as well?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem. Everything gets clean.
That was my only.
So,
a lot of the sustainable stuff is things that, I'll be honest, like certain things about it like drive me crazy, where I'm like, people are, you're just being dumb if you really think that's, like they have those like water saving shower heads. But it's like, okay, now the water pressure sucks ass, so I'm taking a longer shower. Like, you're not saving anything there. You know what I mean? Like, you're not. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing, but
Right. I mean, there's definitely a good portion of like mislabeling stuff going around to get people to think. I mean, that's on food products too, if we get real deep dive into that kind of stuff. But there is, that mislabeling to get people to think they're doing something for the environment that has nothing to do with it.
Or,
So that,
and I think about that too with like, the electric vehicles, there's such a big push for them, and everybody's like, oh, the electric vehicles and this and that. And I'm like, Yeah, but do you know about the batteries in those? Like, do you understand the whole entire life cycle of that car and what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And the fact that honestly you're just promoting slave labor in the Congo because they have to mine cobalt for that. I don't know.
I, I have them, so it's not necessarily something I like way promote. They work, they don't, whatever. But you know what's really hard to recycle too? Freaking solar panels.
Oh,
They are really hard to recycle. So I think there's a lot of good things with them by all means. And yeah, I do have them on my house. So like, I don't mind that or whatever. I just, it was an interesting to find out because I would have assumed that the company that made it would recycle it and they don't. There was another thing and it was a battery that had got brought to us. And I ended up reaching out to the company that made it because I'm like, no one will recycle these batteries. Like, I don't know how to dispose of them properly. And we had like a
yeah.
pallet of them. And that company was like, oh, we only offer that recycling in the UK. So sorry, you're in America. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? And they absolutely were. Like, there was no way without like us paying to ship it to the UK kind of thing. I'm like, what is happening? Like, how is that okay? How, I guess in my head I'm like, then how is that okay
Right.
to be right? Like to have that, I don't know. It just sometimes I can get like on a little soapbox rant about certain stuff,
Sure.
right? Because if you're gonna make it, like find a way to reuse it, recycle it, like
Yeah.
so it doesn't end up in a freaking landfill. And I think that's what people don't always realize is what's going on in
Oh
landfills.
yeah.
And then, right, and then they're like, well, they'll burn it off. Yeah, and all that burning off is going into our air.
Right.
Or it's also leaching into the soil that then gets into the water. I mean,
Right. Right.
before anyone like misunderstands, like, no, I don't think me as one person or you as one person we're not going to save the environment. I'm just, when I see something so easy to make an easy change that would be helpful, I just do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I don't still buy plastic water bottles because I do for certain events. They're just easier to have around, this and that. But for the most part, I drink out of my reusable cup
Yeah.
and I just keep it full. Whereas before that, I probably went through, I don't know, probably a case of water a month.
Right.
And now I might buy 2 cases a year, give or take what's going on. Like I said, I'm not pretending I don't do these things. I just use it way less than I would have in the past.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think about little stuff like that because I'm like, it doesn't always have to be something super major.
Right.
Right. Like I'm not going to clean the oceans by myself by any means.
But one thing,
Like the laundry detergent, like I said, it cleans fine for me. So why not switch to it? I'm not spending any more money and my laundry is still getting clean. So what do I care?
I think one of the companies I do like that I was like, I like their mission and everything is that that Misfits Market where they're
Oh, I don't think I've heard of them.
so like they take the produce that isn't pretty or whatever
Oh,
and
yes. Okay. Yeah.
you can order from them which still, I mean, honestly, if you want to be like a little more sustainable, I mean, go to the fucking local farmers market, right? But a change is a change.
Right.
And so maybe you change it up and you switch over to this Misfits Market so that you're not having as much food waste. So
Yes.
I don't know. It's just little things like
I used Imperfect Foods for a long time. So I just didn't know the Misfits one. I'm like, oh wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah. So, right, again, yeah. Go to your local farmers market if you really want to help the whole situation. But I thought, because oh my god, don't even get me going on food waste. It drives me insane that there is ever someone going hungry in this world.
It's wild.
100%. Honest to God, I know, and I get how restaurants they have to protect themselves. So when they can't just give out food, right? Because someone claims they got sick and all of a sudden they're suing a restaurant. Like there's all these problems with it. There's a trying to remember the term for it for restaurants. There's a term because it happened. However, at the same time, you think about all these, like I said, produce that, oh, well, that one's about to go bad. When I go to my local Fry's over here, sometimes I pop over and they have this one little small stand and it'll be produce in a red bag. And you can see in it, like it's just a mesh bag. And it'll be knocked down to like $2. And it's stuff that is about to
Right.
go bad. And like, here, we want to get rid of it. So if I'm cooking something particular that day and I know I can just use it up, like I'll go shop over there
Yeah.
sometimes and see what they have.
Right.
Because, yeah, I'm like, why not, dude? I don't care. I don't care if the carrot looked pretty. I just care if it tastes good.
Exactly.
I out here in Arizona, and I'll promote this company because I think it's freaking amazing, and it's a nonprofit organization, so I donate to them because I was looking for something to do as far as like giving back to the community. And I want it to be local, and it's called Waste Not, and this company goes and they partner with a bunch of places out here, and I'm not going to name them all because I don't remember who all they partner with. I just kind of looked into them. And what they'll do is say you've got like a big catering event. And so you get all the stuff ready for it. And then maybe 30 people didn't show up. That catering place will be like, hey, they call that place immediately. Like, hey, we've got 30 dishes. Here's what it is. And that place goes, picks up the food and then gets it delivered to, it could be a woman's shelter. It could be a homeless shelter. It could be, because at that point the food's made. So it has to get eaten in a certain amount of time. So they just temp check it all. And so they're all about like keeping that waste out, so people aren't going hungry. And I think it's super cool. I wish, and I don't look a lot into it. Like I said, I read enough into it to know I want to donate to them. So I don't donate a ton by any means, but I donate to them because I'm like, what a cool
Right.
cause that is local and reusing so much food that would have otherwise gone to waste.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're super cool. And it's stuff like that. It's like if we came together more, as just in your own little community, even you could avoid so much waste.
Well, and that's the interesting thing, and this is where that like history nerd in me gets a little, because honestly, the way our cities and towns were developed, they were not developed to be eco-friendly. They were developed to make you have to run all the way across town to do things. They keep all the zoning in separate places, right? So like housing zoning is over here and commercial zoning is over here. And you're gonna have to drive. And they don't make safe sidewalks. They don't invest in public transportation, right? So it all goes into the fact that as normal, the government fucked us.
That's weird. What? That doesn't sound like our
Crazy
government.
talk. And
You're being wild. Wild over there.
And then B, like, in order to fix it, the amount of work it's going to take to fix it, right? Because you basically have to create these little cities within your city. You have to create these little cities where now we can walk to the market and we can walk over to the neighborhood school, and you have all these things within this little radius of you in order to make it sustainable for you to walk to, right?
Right.
And that's gonna it all comes down to, like, you have to do rezoning. You have to have people who are going to bring in that little local market. And
Yeah.
one thing I used to do, and I really liked it, was I did it was kind of like a local food co-op where I was with this, there was like a local farmer, and basically I paid a set amount per month, and every week I got a certain amount of vegetables, right? And then,
Oh
yeah, and
yeah,
then
okay.
there came to a point where they were also growing flowers, so I'd get like a little bouquet of flowers. But the
Yeah.
thing is, when you do things like that, all of a sudden, I remember at one point I was like, "Oh my god, like I have so many radishes. Like I don't know what the hell to do with these things." because because you're
No.
trying to plan your meals and then you're like, "I don't know what vegetables I'm getting this week." Because I don't know what
Oh
crops
yeah,
came
true.
in or whatever. And at this exact point, it was just like radishes coming out my ass. And I did. So they
Should invite our uncle over. That's one of his favorite things to eat,
I mean,
dude.
I love radishes. I ended up finding out how much I really like roasted radishes. Like, you can roast them and they're really delicious. I had no idea
Oh,
until
okay.
I joined this local little food co op and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all these radishes? Oh,
That was I don't remember the name of it. Our sister a few years ago, she still uses them, I think. Not as often because she has her own garden and stuff now. Um it was like Pow something. And it was this like traveling
uh huh.
market that would go to different areas of the valley. And so it was a few years back and she goes, "Hey, they're going to be right by you." And it was something similar. So you went there and you just paid like $15. You got a box. You did not know what was going
Yes.
to be in it. But I remember getting home with that box and I think I sent you guys a picture because I'm like, holy haul, like this is insane. And it was before I knew how much I liked cucumbers.
Oh,
And the amount of effing cucumbers in that box, like I could not give them away to enough people.
yeah.
I was like, who needs cucumbers and who needs tomatoes? Like I am overloaded with them. I do not eat vegetables to this extent. And I was like, okay, that is a little too much. So I think I only did the box the one time because I just couldn't go through it enough to get rid of it fast
That makes
enough.
sense. So at that time when I was doing when I was doing that like co-op, the kids were home. I was feeding a family of four. We were going through it. So
Yeah, I was thinking there's that meme. I see it a lot, just from our friends, back home in Missouri. Like I'll see posts going, and it, it's like that. It's that time of year, guys. Lock your door when you go inside, or someone's going to leave you a pile of
oh
cucumbers
yes,
or corn in your car because because it overproduces. They can't get rid of it, so they're just like giving it to people and shoving it in their cars when they're not paying attention.
yes,
It's there. Granted, obviously, a cucumber or whatever is not going to sustain you forever. It just ties back to where I'm like, it drives me insane that we have people that go
I
hungry
know.
when there's that much. Like when you do grow a crop and stuff, there's so much of it. I think I've talked about them before. I have some friends that they started out as regulars and they come in and they still constantly, they bring me so much stuff from their garden. It's
Hmm.
amazing. I freaking love it. And I'm like, are you sure? They're like, Charlie, honest to God, like we already have a pile this big of it at home. This is the extra. I'm like, sold. So I got so many like fresh, I get so much fresh tomatoes from them and fresh basil, carrots. They don't get a ton of those. So when they get them, it's like a hot commodity. And everyone is like, did they bring carrots? And I'm like, no.
No.
And I, like, I'm hiding them so I can take them all home. I'm like, I do not want to share these. His carrots are so
Yes.
good. Um, so yeah, so they're always sharing stuff with me. I'm like, heck yeah, dude, I'm all about
Oh,
that. And it's so good and fresh, you
I'm
know?
telling
Like
you, like a fresh
I'm
tomato right
in.
out of the garden it tastes so amazing. The fresh tomatoes, because you
Yeah,
don't
I
get
mean,
that taste whenever you go buy them at the
I don't
grocery
just
store.
eat. You can't just kind of taste it at the grocery store. Like bite into it, and you're like, ooh, that one is not so good, actually. I think about berries too. I hate when I get a thing of blackberries and only like 8 of them are actually sweet and delicious, and the rest are still tart and not ready to, and they shouldn't have been put in there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ah, drives me nuts. And I think that, um, to kind of continue, because I don't want to just talk food, because I could get, like I said, obviously I can get on rant on that one too. Is there's a place out here too that I found that does textile recycling. So all your clothes,
Nice.
bedding, clothes. Um, I when I found them was like, hell yeah. And honestly, right now the pile of stuff I have to go to them is freaking huge. It is huge right now. But it was awesome because, otherwise you take it to Goodwill. I'm personally just not a
Ugh.
Goodwill fan. I'm not pretending I never take stuff there, but I just don't think they're as good of a company as they put out
No,
that
they're
they
not.
are. So, and I see this, some of the money they try to sell shit for. I'm all that the sticker price is still on this thing. It said it was $5.99 and you're selling it for $5. You got it for free.
Right.
So they drive me nuts. So I try not to take stuff there. But also I think about, you get those socks with holes in them. You can only use them to dust so many times. Or you get a stained up shirt. I'm not going to take that to Goodwill. People don't
Right.
want that. So I found this place. I'm like, freaking sold, dude. They'll take it all. They don't care. You don't have to sort
Yeah.
it. And then it's getting, they can recycle it all. And I'm like, that is freaking awesome. It just sucks because they're clear across town. So that part kind of sucks for me.
Yeah.
But you can ship stuff to them. They don't mind. It's just, then you got to pay the shipping. So,
Right.
but it's finding little things like that I'm like, oh, that's cool. I found two just the other day. And I have yet to do it. I'd found this company some time ago that recycled cigarette butts,
Oh.
but they were just in California. And the reason I found out is they had brought it out, I think, to the Phoenix Open maybe a couple of years ago and tried it out here. So I thought they were in Arizona, but I contacted the guy and he goes, no, we're not. We're really just in California right now. I was like, okay, that's really cool. And I think when they recycled them, they were using them to, I'm going to say this totally wrong, like make energy, like to power a light bulb or something.
Okay.
I do not know how by any means, not my specialty. However, I was looking at it the other day and I found another company that's a big name. It's TerraCycle.
Yeah.
I think I say it's a big name because I did work in the recycling industry for quite some time there. But TerraCycle, and I literally just signed up for it, and all you have to do is save your cigarette butts. They're going to turn around and recycle them and turn them into, like, I think they were doing pellets. Like, they made them into some kind of a plastic pellet or something that they could make, I wrote it down, like picnic tables out of, or, like I said, like pallets to stack stuff on, because they could use that. Yeah, they could use it out of it. They made it into some kind of a plastic.
Huh.
So, yeah, I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, hey, plastic's not super cool. Use the glass. But on the other hand, if I can recycle a cigarette butt
Yeah.
and get something useful out of it, why not? Yeah. So I'm like, well, that's pretty cool, man. So I think that too, those are the things where there's a company, sorry, I geek out a little. It's called Loop, and they're not here in the U.S. I think they were doing 3 test markets out here the last time I recall looking into them. And they would take, say, shampoo, lotion, conditioner, just things that would come in a bottle that you buy every month, right? Like once you tend to get your shampoo, you tend to buy the same shampoo. And their idea was they put it in an aluminum container and you just signed up for their program, paid. So the first time you paid it, you pay a little bit more, but that's because you were getting your aluminum bottle to get started. And after that, you would just go into the store and they had a machine and you can just put your bottle in there and do your refill.
Huh.
So then you're taking all that plastic waste out of it.
Interesting thought.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, you'd have to have so many. I feel like you'd have to have so many of those stores set up. You know what I mean? Because, frankly, it comes down a lot of times to convenience, right?
Right. And when I first looked at them, I feel like they were doing a mail-in program. Like you could mail it too. It was just going to cost more money or something. There was a reason I didn't do it, and I don't think it was available here in Arizona. And that's why I felt like they only had like 3 places in the U.S. they were even testing it in.
Interesting.
Probably Oregon or something,
Yeah.
Iffy.
I can see that.
Because you're right. Some stuff it really does come down to convenience on certain things that you're. Like I'm not trying to. Even that pile of clothes and sheets I have right now sitting off to the side, I'm like, when am I going to have time to drive across town and drop these off? But in my head, I'm like, I need to recycle them. Like, I can't take the idea of throwing those in the trash when I know there's a better way. So some stuff, I think it just depends on how much it gets you. I've got a friend who out at Country Thunder, people are drinking, and you're talking 4 days of people drinking can after can after can of beers, right? And I remember I was like, I don't know why we don't recycle. Like, I can just set up a thing. And my friend's like, Charlie, I swear to God, if you come out here and try to set up a recycling on our site, I'm going to kick your ass out of here because I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm like, I'm just saying. He goes, and how are you taking all those bags home with you to recycle them? I'm like, you know what? That is a really good point. I don't think I could fit them in my car. All right. I'm not going to set it up on our site. But then I'm like, why doesn't the venue set up recycling? And then you go out there for one full day and you realize, because there's a lot of drunk asses out here that aren't going to recycle properly and they're going to create more of a problem.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, never mind. That actually makes a lot more sense of why we're not recycling out here. But it's dumb at the same time. I'm like, we're all freaking adults. Why can't we recycle? But all it takes is someone throwing one wrong thing or not knowing what they can put in there, messes up an entire batch.
Exactly.
And then, I mean, I'm not going to stop. Personally, for me, I'm not going to stop doing my part like that. I can. I do know though, because I've watched some of those videos where they'll put the tracker in the recycled stuff, and then they've watched it, like they've tracked where all it went, only to find out it never really got recycled at all.
Yeah.
So like you're paying, that'd be like your city though, like you're paying extra money to your city to have a recycling program, and then you put your stuff in the bin, and I don't know. I've only watched a couple of those videos, but I am aware that just because people say they recycle doesn't mean they actually do. So,
well, I think people rely too much on the recycle part, and they forget to just, because it's reduce, reuse, recycle. And they're like, oh, I recycle. But I'm like, have you reduced your stuff? Have you reused stuff? I mean, I don't know. I think people rely really heavy on that recycle as their get out of jail free card, for lack of better terms. And
they,
I don't know.
It's funny you say that. So there's it's called the 5 R's of a circular economy. And so it's refuse. So refuse to buy it if you don't need it, or reduce like how much of it you're using. Then you repurpose it, and then, or reuse it for something, and then recycle. Like recycle is the last thing on there. But you're right. People use, we recycle as we're a green company.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but you wasted so much. Why not reuse something? Or I don't know. But then I think those, like I said, it comes down to you as a person too, having to be like, well, I'm refusing to buy that anymore. I don't need that. So I'm going to refuse to even buy it, or I'm going to reduce how much I might be using it or something.
Right.
I was doing a little research, for this episode, and I found a term that I didn't know about either. And I was going to share it just because I found it interesting. It was called greenwashing.
Oh, yeah.
And it said it's a practice of falsely promoting an organization's environmental efforts or spending more resources to promote the organization as green than are actually spent in them engaging in environmentally sound practices. Right. So it has become quite the thing. I don't research every company I like work with or product I buy. I'm not like that into it. I found ways that I can do my little part, and I like to.
Well, I'm super aware of the greenwashing, and that's why I get cranky about those things. Really, it goes back into how I'm talking about, like the stupid electric vehicles and stuff, where I'm just like, okay, why don't you go ahead and think that one through? Or like the clothing lines that are like, oh, we're sustainable. I'm like, you understand, like your cotton takes a lot more water than anything else so it's things like that where I'm just like, I don't trust any of you fuckers. So I don't know. I remain skeptical.
Fair enough. And you know what? As everyone should be, because companies can tell you whatever the hell they want to tell you. So unless you do your research, you know, you can choose to believe them, but it doesn't mean they're telling
Yeah,
the truth.
that's true.
No one's forcing them to.
Amen.
Um, yeah, this is just saying there. I enjoy talking about recycling because I do think it's just an interesting. I just think it's fun. Like I think there's so many cool parts about it, and it's so cool to find things that I would have never known could get recycled. Anyway, I would say our lesson learned and growth earned on this is why not support a circular economy, even if it's just switching to a reusable cup over like a plastic water bottle. Because it's important that to remember like recycling is a valuable practice that can benefit everyone and it benefits the environment regardless of your lifestyle. So it conserves resources, reduces pollution, and it saves energy. So just, I'm not saying every straw needs to be paper, but maybe switch to the reusable straws. I don't know. It's a little food for thought
Maybe
there.
just go out, drink out of the water hose like we used to. I bet we could come up with a fun TikTok name
Yeah,
for it.
foraging for drinks in the yard.
Oh, jeez. Oh, in our next episode, we're going to be exploring some big changes that are coming up. We're going to get our hot take on it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, go out there and be your favorite self.
And if you're enjoying what you hear, be sure to leave us a review because it will help others find us. Go ahead and like and follow on your favorite listening platform to catch all our future episodes.